there's two new Marvel games coming. So the first one that was announced was a fighting game called Marvel Tokon. I am really surprised to see this. Why you would have a 2D fighter. I'm hearing things about 2KXO, which is Riot's fighter, and that this has really made them afraid. There's questions about why this versus Marvel versus Capcom, which has kind of perfected this. The character art looks great. So for whatever reason, that was announced recently. And there's another one coming to mobile. It's a semi-action RPG that NetEase is developing called Mystic Mayhem,
Mm.
where you have three characters, but you're also using abilities with real-time elements. You could use Clash Royale potentially as a shorthand reference, although it's a radically different mechanic. There's that level of real-time element. And not only that, there was a confirmation, at least from IGN, that after the cancellation of Black Panther, EA is still making three Marvel games.
Wow.
So it is
Okay.
still a bonanza, and I'm confused because the IP has never been weaker. Like Thunderbolt's returns in the box office were not good. That was not a great check-in with the MCU. So I'm very surprised to see all these activities going on in franchise Marvel land.
Well, it's what we talk about all the time that, in today's world, IP still works and still draws people in, reduces some of your, CPI costs because you've got that. I mean, I think there's something like 30 games with Marvel licenses out in the world. I don't think we're going to see a slowing of this. Same thing with Star Wars. I think we're going to still see IP leading with a bunch of games.
Yeah, I don't know. These two games, the Marvel games, look actually pretty good.
None of this is shovelware. This is really high quality product, all of them.
Maybe gaming takes over as a good representation of the IP since Disney seems to be screwing it up every single year. With
From an entertainment standpoint.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't know. We'll carry the torch for a while until Disney gets their act together. I don't know.
So one last check-in before we leave, and I was really surprised to see this not just announced, but it looks like it's launched, although we'll see next week if I got this one wrong. But it appears that Whittle Defender, which we had checked in a couple weeks ago from Habby, has launched. I was really surprised to see this. This is the one where you have characters in the center of a map, very, very similar to a game called The Tower, which has been scaling for a number of years now. And you're choosing abilities as waves of enemies come towards you. So imagine taking survivor.io and really moving the agency to move around, but still keeping a lot of those roguelike abilities. I was super high on the game, but I was surprised to see them get this out the door this quickly. It would actually been in pre-registration for a little bit. So one quick excuse is just to check it back in with Habby, like why they chose to hit the go button on this, which I was surprised by, because both Capybara Go and Archero 2 are in a really good place. They have hit, I would argue, equilibrium when it comes to at least daily active users, and we see revenue starting to flatline as well. And they're looking like a group pair of games that are going to do around 600 million, at least just in net IP revenue, with ads thrown on top. And so this company, as we were talking about, is getting very close to getting on the top 20 publisher lists globally.
Yeah.
And it looks like it might be heading towards $1 billion in run rate. So surprised to hit the go button on this so quickly. The Fatui is a disaster. I just don't understand how they ship this. I think it's because their timing. So the key issue is like the length of the levels. And because you don't have real-time elements, I think the length is maybe the same as like an Archero room. But remember, you're going through 40 different rooms in Archero. And this might have a similar length, but because you're not moving, it feels like it's going much slower. And so the first Fatui levels, normally you'd want quick feedback for the player. You want to establish the loop. And you really had to sit there for, I would argue, maybe 3 or 4 minutes while waves of enemies were coming at you. And you can't 2x or 3x until the third or fourth battle. I was surprised to see them like make a choice like that. Usually they're pretty good at getting these metas out the door. The monetization doesn't feel as strong right now. I expected to be hit with a lot more passes. This is one of the marquee things Habby does that people should really look at, is that they had a lot of recurring monthly passes that are annuities. So I get a bundle of gems delivered to me every single day by paying an upfront price. Like annuities are something that they've really put back on the table, but I still see very few people like pursuing the Habby meta or incorporating elements from that. The emphasis on leaderboards is big in Archero 2, like literally just straight up ranking power score. They've just been refining this meta over and over again, and people start learning from them. And I think they'll do it again with Whittle Defender, but this is such a bizarre launch that I have, heart palpitations from Squad Busters. This is like ship something out the door. And look at, they've done other games like SSS Snaker, which I, probably wasn't in a place that they we're ready to jump like 300 million in, but they're like, hey, let's just shove it out. We can take more shots on goal when we have this meta established.
I'm watching some gameplay. Again, I'm just struck by art style. And what's the other one? King Shot that we talk about?
Yeah, we haven't gotten into a full conversation about that. That is another very interesting game. That's part of the 4X meta.
Oh my God, I've been playing that game nonstop. King Shot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm even spending money on that. It's like I have to admit though, it is kind of a poor man's 4X game. It's not like as egregious as other 4X games. Habby's done an exceptional job. Those guys are crushing it right now.
Yeah. I think there is something to God, the change in the art style and what is appropriate for what we would call a mid-core game. You know, they're using this like super cute, casual, bright art style.
Yeah.
Don't forget that they invented the term hyper casual. Like Archero was
Yeah,
the
of
original
course.
hyper casual. Like that was one of the first DOF articles. You go back and listen to it. Still very insightful. So I think like they get marketing, they get meta, and that's the secret to a lot of this. Like combining those two things on mobile.
I do. I mean, I remember playing Survivor IO for the first time and I'm like, oh, this is like super easy. And then the next thing I know, I was in the deepest monetization pit, optimizing all of my gear, you know, in 10 different slots. And I was like, oh, wow, like I've just entered, you know, a deep mid-core game. And this looks cute. This looks like I shouldn't use the word cute. I mean, it is visually cute, but it looks like you've got some, you know, roguelike with 3 characters on the screen, enemy waves coming at you. You know, I imagine you optimize the hell out of all your slots.
Very easy to make a meta around this. Very easy to do Rochambeau, elemental damage, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Like they have the right elements here. And remember, it's passive gameplay, which opens up a lot of opportunities. Like for instance, to have the autoplay, to have the 5x, 4x, 10x speed booster.
This is my kind of game, dude. You don't have to do nothing. It just does. It plays itself, you know.
Yeah,
like, I don't have to like move around the screen or worry about being all stressed out about arcade shit.
Yeah, what I didn't like about Survivor IO is you're moving around the screen and you could be playing for 20 minutes and then
the session lengths were insane there too. I guess that's another great point, Jen, is they didn't even break it up like Archero. At least has like almost exit points naturally between rooms where you're selecting abilities. But Survivor.io is brutal.
Yeah, no, I would like just throw my phone because I would die 20 minutes in and I'm like, oh, you assholes. Like that's the thing that, I don't know, gets me as a player is that I have now wasted my time and died. And I guess that's where, you know, have monetization because you just let me pay and I don't die. But no, this is cute. This is it. But I just think that we should do a little more around. I should talk to Stan at Beta Head. What is going on with this art style, you know, just dominating for mid-core games? Can you imagine 10 years ago going to dude like hardcore gamers and being like, hey, yeah, is this art style for you? Everyone would be like, no, that's for like an 8-year-old. But it just seems to really, I don't know. I wonder what's going on.
I don't think it's that bad. I mean, they kind of look like tech dudes. Or tech dudes, like little thumbs.
I don't remember what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Tech dudes.
No. Oh, Tech. Yeah. I mean, that was a great toy line back in the day. Tech was the skateboards, not the.
Yeah, but they both look like thumbs. The whittle.
Yeah, because you played with the idea was that you played with this kid. Look at you with that toy reference. I'm digging this, Phil.
I had a childhood at one point. I experienced this.
No, that's a good one. No, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think there's some sort of shift going on in the appeal of different themes and IP that is making me super curious. Anyway, thank you everyone, and we will see you next week.